Welcome to A Mason's Work, the podcast where we review Masonic symbols and illustrate how they can be used to solve problems in everyday life. With your host, Brian Mattox, a proud member of the Craftsman Online Media Network.
Yesterday, we talked about appreciation as being the shallow end of the sort of gratitude continuum. Today, I want to talk about the deep end. And the deep end is different in its entirety from what appreciation is. And I say it's different in its entirety because the texture of it is just something else. We'll get to it in just a second. At the end of last week, we talked about surrendering, that flow state that you enter when you're doing good work, when you stop managing the experience and become a part of it. This is the difference between, going to a concert and feeling the music. When you go to a concert, you can attend and be there for what's happening. When you're feeling the music, it moves you in a way that is kind of like they described the Force in Star Wars. It obeys your command, but it also influences your actions kind of vibe. When you look at the experience of gratitude that you have, there is this ego stepping back. Self-consciousness kind of drops and fades away, and you're just the work, or you're just the rhythm, or just the groove, whatever the case may be. You're there fully enmeshed in the present moment. And that type of surrender, as you move through it, naturally transitions to gratitude. You go through this process where that ego dissolution starts to become this awareness that you're part of a understanding or a part of an experience that's happening. And so what does it feel like? You probably have had this already, but I'm going to give you an attempt to describe what it feels like, so that if you haven't had it, you kind of know what you're looking for. When you're genuinely present with work and the experience matters, what tends to emerge is this very specific physical sensation. Emotionally, it's like a bittersweet kind of tender. But when we look at it, it's heart-centered in a way that's not like, woo-woo heart-centered. It literally has a physical quality to it. You can feel it in your chest. There is, for a lot of people, a full body kind of sensation, a physical, it's almost a rawness to the experience. It's humbling without being diminishing. It's full in a way that's not, you feel filled with this experience in a way that is oftentimes, for some people, overwhelming. But it's hard to articulate this without making it sound really complicated or really kind of woo-woo. When you get to that experience, though, it is definitely a kind of full and complete enmeshment with the present moment. And that is a surrender gratitude experience. You don't choose to feel it. It kind of arrives as a product, naturally emergent from letting the ego out of the way long enough for you to actually see what's going on and how you fit. I want to be honest about something with this. It feels amazing, but you can't live there, right? It's not a vacation if you live there kind of thing. You may have had that experience yourself. If you try to stay in that space where you're constantly kind of in awe of the present moment and feeling genuinely great gratitude and having that experience, you'll be paralyzed. You won't be able to kind of function or move, right? We talked about it a little bit yesterday about the gap. You need those gaps, and we tend to solve those in everyday life. And that tension is what oftentimes moves us from the caves and out into the world to build houses. When we know that this is the case, it means that you have to cultivate a practice that supports both experiences, both that tension of everyday life, as well as the transcendent gratitude experience. When you can create both of those, you become more resilient, more agile, more capable of handling the things that you experience in your everyday life. And as you build your appreciation practice, which we discussed yesterday, and cultivating that noticing, it creates a strong foundation for those gratitude experiences to come to you more often, to emerge more often. And when you start to cultivate this, you'll be able to enter that state of gratitude at will. And that gratitude state is in many ways regenerative. It feels cleansing. So when you're looking to get out of the moment and really begin to appreciate that deeper understanding, you're going to want to cultivate the other stuff we talked about yesterday, those appreciations, those interoceptive moments where you can kind of build this baseline for gratitude to emerge. For today, I just want you to think about a time where you kind of lost yourself in the present moment and the gratitude that emerged from it. Find that moment. We'll be talking about it just a little bit more over the next couple of episodes.
The views represented in this podcast are those of the speaker alone and are not representative of any grand or subordinate lodge.
Hi, Brian here. I wanted to thank you so much for listening to this episode. If you have any suggestions or guidance for further episodes you'd like to see or hear, whatever the case may be, please don't hesitate to reach out to me at enmasonswork.com, and we will try and incorporate your suggestions into a future recording. Thanks.
Freemasonry teaches us that the true work is within, a lifelong journey of reflection, discipline, and discovery. At A Mason's Work, we help Masons bring out their best selves through meaningful self-inquiry and symbolic practice. From personal reflection to lodge engagement, we offer tools that turn symbols into action. Visit us at enmasonswork.com. The work is within. The time is now.